So a long time ago, back when I used F1 2020 gameplay as background footage, I made a video questioning how equal Formula 2 is. This was one of my first videos, so I'd seriously recommend that you don't go and watch it. The other day I questioned the same about INDYCAR. Since it is a spec series, however, there are obviously the better and the slower teams, such as Penske and Juncos. Therefore, I had a deeper look into it and decided that I'd make another bite-sized video to share my findings. Before we begin, if you find yourself watching my videos, please subscribe to the channel in order to help elevate the popularity of INDYCAR. Thank you very much. Despite the fact that INDYCAR is a spec series, there's actually more to develop than many people think. In fact, there's actually a hidden development war that not many people know about. The die-hard fans of the series may be aware, however this video will summarise it for the more casual fans who watch the channel. The area that teams develop the most are typically the dampers, since they have a lot of freedom in this area, hence why it makes a considerable difference to a team's package. Dampers are incredibly important. When the car goes over a curb or a bump, the springs and the suspension compress. Without a damper, the car would bounce up and down until the force dissipated. As you can imagine, teams can extract a lot of performance out of the car with good dampers, especially considering how bumpy INDYCAR tracks are. Look at Nashville, for instance. So essentially, dampers help to regulate the ride height of the car, which is an incredibly important aspect of racing, since it affects drag and aerodynamic load. The general goal is to keep the car stable under acceleration, braking and cornering, to maximise the aero, while simultaneously getting the best performance out of the tyres. Teams perform wind tunnel testing, where they put the car on a shaker rig to simulate the aerodynamic load and the bumps and elevation changes of a track. INDYCAR teams used full-size cars in the wind tunnel, not models like F1. Teams have a decent sense of freedom regarding wind tunnel tests, such as unlimited personnel and a pretty good amount of time. If teams arrange to use a wind tunnel, it comes out of their limited number of test days. However, if organised by the engine manufacturers, being Chevy and Honda, it doesn't come out of a team's allocation. This is pretty confusing, but it works, I guess. Teams run different simulations for oval events and road events, due to how different the nature of the tracks and aero packages are. For oval events, teams typically simulate clean air and dirty air conditions in the wind tunnel in order to balance their car well for each scenario. So yes, INDYCAR is a spec series. Every team must use the same Dallara chassis and pick between a Honda or a Chevrolet engine. However, each team is allowed to tune their car to a certain extent. As mentioned previously, the dampers are the most prevalent example. However, there are odd elements here and there that teams can also tinker with. This is why we typically see the teams with better facilities perform better than those without. However, the driver is still certainly the focal point of the team. So in conclusion, it isn't 100% equal. However, it is a lot more equal than non-spec series like F1. I suppose that makes it similar to F2 to a certain extent. What are your opinions on this? Please leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this short video, please subscribe to the channel and I will see you all in the next one. But until then, take care and thank you very much for watching.